when we formed the AFP, one of our first founding board members was Sarah Burke, and as anyone knows the sport realizes that Sarah was one of the biggest influencers, faces, just amazing people that the sport has ever seen.
There was no one that ever had an opportunity to spend time with Sarah that wasn't that wasn't made better in one way or another by being around her. So beyond just being a skier, she was just an amazing person that just lit everything up with her attitude on and off the hill.
I think when we decided to name the overall trophy the Sarah Burke Trophy, it was just, I mean, it was just an idea that I don't even remember who brought it up, but there was no question we weren't going to do it. I mean, you don't have this sport be what it is without someone like Sarah. And there's a lot of other people that in the sport that have definitely influenced the sport to a great degree, but the class, the grace, just everything about her, and I think there's not a single person either that, if Sarah was here today, wouldn't be saying the same thing. I mean, if she was here today, there's still a pretty good argument that we'd want to consider this the Sarah Burke Trophy. So it's probably the most at this point in time that the AFP can do to remember her. But I think it's very important that we continue this tradition, because over time, kids are going to get younger and kids are going to not really know where the start of the sport came from. And by having a trophy like this named after one of the pioneers allows these kids to ask the question, who was Sarah Burke? And it's our responsibility to be able to tell those kids who Sarah Burke was, and that's why they're here, and that's why they're doing this sport.
She was a complete pioneer for men and women. I mean, what she did for the women's side of the sport is absolutely indisputable, but I think what she also did for the sport as a whole was create an example of what it meant to be a professional skier, and how you interacted with the fans and how you interacted with your fellow skiers. And you know, she was a friend to everybody. She was an inspiration. She competed at the highest level within all parts of the sport at one point or another in her career. So she exemplified, I think, what were the best parts of the sport, without a doubt. So it only seemed appropriate to have an award that went to a skier who competed in you know, at the highest level throughout the season, and to call that the Sarah Burke Award, and to make sure that her name, as the sport evolves, and is remembered, because it is very important to us. We all know and loved Sarah, and so it's very important that her name live on.